I'll enter with my last question here about co-belligerence. That's something that's a value that we both share. Co-belligerence is the notion that you find, we may disagree on a lot of things, but you find the areas that you can agree on and you work on those and you move forward. You join with a lot of conservatives, including Colorado Christian University, and against Democrats in your own party in calling for the abandonment of SB 1146. This was a very serious issue raised in California, where the state legislature sought to strip public funding primarily through grants and scholarships for Christian colleges. There's 42 Christian universities in California. There's only 2 here in Colorado, so we're watching this very closely. And you could see that this was very dangerous to the Christian colleges. Biola mobilized against it, kind of led the fight. Our alma mater sent out emails about it, Westmont College, and basically they were all there. But you joined with all of them and Colorado Christian University. The letter said that to ensure the future of the free exercise of religion in higher education in California and across America, we respectfully call on the supporters of Senate Bill 1146 to immediately withdraw their support of the bill with the commitment to disavow similar intrusions in the future. So, you even called that this wouldn't ever come up again and that you would protect the rights of Christian colleges. So talk a little bit about the importance of believers finding ways to work together, even if we disagree on other stuff, and the importance of co-belligerence. Maybe even a Wilberforce reference if you want to.
Well, here, the questions in this country are becoming a lot more fundamental. And if we don't see that we need to work together where we can work together, instead of focusing on particularly some of the trivial kind of stuff that comes up, then we're not going to have the effective witness in politics or as a church that we should, if we end up keep being divided by these particularly partisan issues, so that we can't even partner with the other side because we're afraid of helping the Democrats or helping the Republicans. It's not going to serve us well. Religious freedom is under pressure in this country. Now, it's important to understand that we need to invite people into the conversation. So Barry Corey, who was the president of Biola University, he didn't start yelling at people, calling people pagans. Like he actually built relationships and made sure that if there were legislators that were going to harm the religious freedom of institutions like his, they were at least going to know his face. They were going to know what, the legislators that proposed that bill had never visited a Christian campus before. It wasn't, they didn't have a frame of reference. An advocacy group says, hey, this is a great way that you could help LGBT folks. And so they're not thinking about the consequences. We need to help them. This is actually, we need to think about the rise of religious disaffiliation in this country, the presentation of these new questions, not as reasons to be fearful or to be anxious. This could potentially be the greatest evangelistic opportunity that we've seen in this country for a long time, because for a long time, people are coming to Christianity and to religious conversations without a whole lot of baggage from their past. They are one, sometimes 2 generations removed from faith. They don't live in a culture that is soaked with Christianity, so they don't have presumptions about what it is. We need to actually help our neighbors understand what it means to have a religious conscience. It's not animus that they don't understand what it means to have a religious conscience. They don't know. And so some will be resistant to hearing that, but I would much rather pursue these debates with as broad a coalition as possible, and that is across Christian denominations, and then increasingly I think we're going to find opportunity to partner with those of other faiths, because again, the questions are no longer Catholic, Protestant. The question is religion or not. And then we can do so. Dallas Willard is one of my favorite teachers. He has all these ways of defining words. Dallas Willard defines joy as a pervasive and constant sense of well-being. In the year leading up to the election, at the end of my events, I'd ask people how many people felt that the campaign was full of a pervasive and constant sense of well-being. But we can be joyful in politics. We can be joyful even in religious freedom contexts and in a culture that seems to not be as welcoming, perhaps, as it was before. We can still be joyful. We can, because we don't find our security in what the California legislature does, as important as it is. We don't need to be anxious about these things.